All right. Yes, we seem to be ready to go. All right, then. So, again, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining in tonight. I know you could have been anywhere else, but you chose to hang out with me this evening as we talk about 5 ways to overcome life's challenges. I am your host, Sonya Dungee. And tonight we are celebrating episode number 76. The sponsorship tonight is through Always Destined for Greatness LLC, and they are presenting the Sonya Dungee podcast. I'm your host again, Sonya Dungee, and I am bringing the heat to the Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram streets. So without further ado, again, thank you all for joining. I appreciate you immensely. And we are just going to go ahead and jump right into it. So I've been talking a lot about challenges. So the definition of challenges means that you are being thrusted outside of your comfort zone, that either you've set new goals for yourself and you're ready to work really hard to achieve them. But a challenge basically is something that will put you through a test. So when we talk about life's challenges, it can be very difficult um, or very intractable. And there are situations that require effort and determination to be able to overcome them. So a challenge in life is also viewed as an opportunity for growth. Um, and then I want to give you some examples as I had promised, but we're really not going to dive too deep into the examples. We are just going to talk exclusively with just ways to overcome life's challenges. And then with our walk-in talks, and then of course next week, we will go a lot deeper in that when we do episode number 77. Just before we get started, we are at the end of the month. Today is the 31st. Today is my granddaughter's 17th birthday. So happy birthday, Janaya. God bless you, love you. And I am so excited to see what the future holds for you for sure. But we're going to have new improved look, different outcome starting next month, and a more refined niche when it comes to resilience, because resilience takes the form of many things. And so we are going to really get into resilience a lot more. So for right now, the 31st, the last day of July, we're going to talk about the 5 ways to overcome life's hardships. So me, you guys know me by now. And the first thing that I do is I turn to the Bible to see what the Bible has to say about those topics. And okay, thought I left it behind, guys. So the first one was John 16, verse 33. And I'm going to read that one to you. I have told you all this so that you may have peace in me. Here on earth, you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart because I have overcome the world. So in that's saying that there's trials and there's tribulations. They're going to come. But know that our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, he overcame the world. So if he can do it, we surely can do it. We just have to know how. And then in 2 Corinthians 4, verse 8, states, we are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed. And I really want to read that again so that it really hits home and that we really understand that, soak it up, and we're able to take that away. So that in 2 Corinthians 4:8, we're not hard pressed. I'm sorry, we are hard pressed on all sides, it says every side, but we're not crushed. We are perplexed, but we're not in despair. persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed. Not destroyed. So that is so important that we turn to scriptures in the Bible and ask, what is the meaning? What does it say? And think about how it reflects in our lives as well. So first, I'm going to give you the 13 examples of life challenges, but we're just going to talk tonight about the 5 ways to overcome. So there is loneliness, number 1. 2, maintaining healthy relationships. 3, money worries. 4, work-related stress. I say job because we all know my job is where I earn my paycheck. My work is in my calling. 5, bereavement. 6, traumatic events. 7, mental health. 8, physical illness. 9, life changes. 10, smoking. 11, drinking. 12, drug abuse. And number 13 is gambling. So the first way to overcome life challenges is to realize. So you must realize you're not alone. That's something I knew, but I didn't know. Although some may go about it differently than others. And it might show up externally, that they're not really showing it, but trust and believe internally they are, because I was, when I was lying to the world saying that I was okay, when I was dying inside. There's people all over the world, everywhere, that goes through life challenges. You are never alone in that. Never alone. So the second thing is that you need to accept. You have to come to grips with the realization that it's just a season. It's just temporary. It's not going to last a lifetime unless you allow it. And when it comes to grief in particular, a part of us believe that if we're not grieving and if we are moving on and if we maybe smile or laugh at a joke, we're being disrespectful of the person who we're grieving for, who's passed on. But we're not. We are not. Accepting that inevitable while building resilience, that helps with the anxiety and the stress. It alleviates some of the fear. So that is truly important to remember. So you have to focus on what you can control, and what you can't control, you can't worry about it. You have to ligmo. You have to let it go. You have to let it move on. It doesn't happen overnight, but that is something that you have to do in order to become an overcomer. You have to give yourself that permission that it's okay. It's okay. Let's let it go. Accept your emotions. Accept what you're feeling. That's important. And that's something else that I wouldn't do. Like, I knew I was grieving and everything else, but I was still trying to convince myself that I was fine and everybody else around me that I was fine. Like, I was still trying to hold on and not fully allow my emotions to take over. But that doesn't work. Your emotions, how you're feeling, is real. By allowing to be in touch with your feelings and you validate them, what happens is eventually that opens up the path to that forward progression, that being able to move forward. But you have to also give yourself an opportunity to grieve. You have to go through that grieving process, because the healing that can only occur when you have the ability to be able to move forward, when you let go, when you stop being stuck and staying in a dark place, that's when you can start to heal. You begin the healing process. And the healing process is different for everyone. It's not the same. You can't put a timestamp on it, but you do have to start somewhere. Then third is you have to assess. You have to ask yourself the who, what, where, when, why. What's the outcome? What is that end result that you're looking for? What do you want to accomplish? And what are you willing to do for the outcome? And then four, you have to put forth an action plan. Now, we spoke about action plans on many occasions. We talked about the blueprints, life blueprint. We talked about all of that. But when it comes specifically to life challenges, we have to put forth an action plan. We have to define the specific challenge and gain that clarity and answer the what, the who, the when, the why, the how. We have to prioritize and implement and monitor, evaluate, and sometimes refine. Sometimes even repeat. Well, we have to rinse and then we have to repeat and start it all over again. 5, you have to practice the self-care and the compassion for yourself. You can't beat up on yourself and I suck and I shouldn't be doing this and I shouldn't be doing that and I need to grieve harder and deeper than I am. And why am I feeling okay today? I shouldn't be feeling okay today. Practice that compassion for yourself. You're going to be okay. It's okay. You're more than okay. I like to say great, but at that point, you're not. And keeping it 100, you're not. And when you practice that self-care, that's something I didn't do either. I wasn't going to get my hair done. I wasn't going to get my nails done on the regular. I wasn't exercising. I wasn't loving on myself. I wasn't validating myself. I wasn't talking into the self-image in the mirror that you're amazing no matter what. You're a child of God. You're going to go through things in life, but you're going to come out on the other side. You're just in a storm right now. I didn't tell myself any of that. Valuable? Not me. But once I learned more about myself, I began to practice self-care and self-love for myself. But I had to go through the process first. It's always important to practice self-care. Always. You should always look your very best. You should always feel your very best. And it doesn't take a lot to do that. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you could take a walk, you could read a book, spend some quiet time. There's so many things. We've discussed them so many times before. But that is so crucial in step number 5 to practice that self-care and self-compassion. And even though I said there was 5, I'm going to throw in a 6th step for you. And that is that expression of gratitude. Now, I don't know if you had an opportunity to see it as of yet, but I made a reel today. And it was expressing gratitude and expressing the fact that I am resilient no matter what I've gone through, that I've remained resilient. And that is the major key. That was my aha moment. That was my breakthrough, resilience. And truth be told, I am transparent. I had been searching for that specific. You see, part of being resilient is showing up, but you have to show up for yourself first. Fighting back with everything that you have, every ounce of your being, to want something so bad and going for it, holding fast until you get it without crumbling no matter what. And more recently, in speaking to my mentor one-on-one, he gave me that aha moment, because I knew what I wanted. I knew what I've been doing. I knew who I've been helping. But that only missing part, and I even help those to become resilient. But even though I helped them become resilient, I was missing my whole resilience. So I'm so grateful for that. And that's why I made that reel today, for that purpose. I wasn't smiling through it because I had made a whole bunch of videos prior just to have, just doing things that I can later put feeling behind them. And I was able to do that today. So I was grateful. So when you get a chance, please watch that reel. And it's on Always Destined for Greatness for sure. If there's anything particular that you would like me to discuss, especially when it comes to challenges and the forward progression and anything that has been going on for you in your life, and you just need some help, you just need some direction, I'm the person. I am that person. You can direct message me, you can call me, you can text message me. And people have been doing that, and they've been commenting and leaving the best comments ever, that they're able to take pieces of what I've said and put them into their own lives and help those that are struggling, or somebody who is grieving. They're able to apply that, and they're able to talk to them in the way that they need and want to be spoken to at the time. And not just if it is grief, but we talk way more than just grief, but it is grief. My sincerest condolences is a great thing, and there's meaning behind it for the person that's saying it. Or I'm sorry for your loss. To me, that hits home in a harsh way, because when I'm grieving, it's because I'm being selfish, because I want that person back in my life, but I'm not thinking of the positive, that they're not suffering anymore. And the most important thing is they've gone to be with the Lord. They've gone to be with the Lord. So when someone says, I'm sorry for your loss, I'm like stuck. I'm like, I want to say it's not a loss, but I don't want to be ignorant or feeling like I'm not grateful. So that's pretty much what I wanted to discuss for today. I want you to know again that I see you, I hear you, I feel you. I feel you all the time. I can relate to you, because when you talk to me about hardships and grief and despair and resilience and all of those things, bouncing back from is being resilient. I've gone through those things. That's part of the story of my life. That's what I come to share with you every single day. Walk and Talk with Sonya in the mornings, podcast on Wednesdays. I want to help you all become resilient, especially in these trying times. I know on Saturday, I spoke about taking a step back from social media for a couple of hours, because it was just so crazy, and I was becoming overwhelming, and it was becoming overwhelming. I was overwhelmed in all these things when I was just trying to do research or comment on someone, and I had to take a step back. So If you're interested, go back and watch that live as well, and that will too get you through sometimes, because trust and belief, it was somewhat of a rant, but it needed to be done. I needed to do it, and it needed to be heard. So, with that being said, I want to thank you all for joining. I appreciate you immensely, immensely. I'm more than grateful for this platform and that people are able to watch the replay, if not live, and being able to relate or getting value. So thank you for that as well. Remember, get in that mirror all day, every single mirror. Don't pass not a one without stopping. Talk to that self image, even if it's a smile. For me, when I do that, it feels like a weight is lifted at times. And I'm also reminding myself, don't get caught up in all the things that's going on in this world. But when I'm talking to the self image, I'm telling that self image that you're a faithful servant and you're a child of God and you deserve to be here on this earth. You have a purpose. After all, you beat out 499 billion to be here. Get rid of the people, the namesayers and the people that don't mean you any good. Hold them off to the side. Take the negativity that they're throwing your way, throw it in a canister so that you can burn it at a later date to catapult you in the direction in which you wish to travel. Be safe. Stay well. And God bless you all. Until tomorrow.